You think you're nourishing your body, but what if your own biological manual has been rewritten by a century of industrial food tricks? Your gut's shag carpet, the real factory for nutrient absorption at 250 square meters, gets matted down, its acid vat goes weak, and your dual fuel tanks misfire. If you're overfed, yet starving at the cellular level, this deep science may explain why. So what invisible sabotage is happening inside you right now? Nutrient absorption is not just a background process. It is the main event on the hidden factory floor of your gut. Imagine the inside of your small intestine lined with a thick, plush shag carpet. This is not an ordinary rug. It is a living surface, packed with millions of tiny villi and microvilli, each one boosting your body's ability to grab nutrients from every bite. Spread out, this carpet would cover a tennis court, 250 square meters of absorption power. Every square inch is valuable real estate, soaking up glucose, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals with remarkable speed, up to 120 grams of simple sugars per hour. But the modern diet is packed with additives, emulsifiers, thickeners, and engineered starches such as maltodextrin. These chemicals do not just pass through. In animal studies, they thin the mucus layer, reduce the number of mucus-producing cells, and leave the underlying villi exposed. Over time, the shag carpet loses its loft. The fibers mat down, bald patches form, and the once plush surface turns patchy and worn. Bacteria creep closer to the gut wall, inflammation ramps up, and the body's absorption machinery sputters. The result is this. Even as calories pile in, the actual delivery of nutrients to your cells drops. This is how you end up overfed, but undernourished, your biological factory running on empty, the premium real estate of your gut squandered by invisible sabotage. Deep inside the gut, the stomach acts as a high-acid melting vat. It doesn't just churn food, it unleashes hydrochloric acid, a pH between 1.5 and 3.5. That is strong enough to dissolve a metal nail over several hours. This corrosive mix is not a design flaw. It is the first essential step for nutrient absorption. The acid breaks down protein chains, activates pepsin, and strips minerals like iron and magnesium from their food matrix. Without this low pH, the food that enters the small intestine is not properly melted. It is just a chunky, half-processed mash. When acid levels drop, whether from age, antacids, or long-term use of proton pump inhibitors, the stomach malfunctions. Proteins escape as large fragments. Bacteria that should have been wiped out survive and multiply, leading to fermentation instead of digestion. This produces gas, bloating, and a toxic byproduct mix the body never signed up for. Instead of creating nutrient-rich chyme, the stomach sends forward a faulty shipment. The rest of the digestive factory is left scrambling, dealing with overflow and chaos. The result is simple. Even if the villi downstream are healthy, they are handed raw materials they cannot use. Energy management falters, and the body's nutrient pipeline is compromised before absorption even begins. Energy in the body runs on a two-tank system, but most people never realize how lopsided the setup really is. The first tank is glycogen, a compact, fast-access battery stored in the liver and muscles. It holds about 2,000 calories, enough to power a day's worth of activity, or just a few hours of intense effort. This is the body's AA battery, quick to charge, quick to drain. Athletes know the feeling. Hit the wall, and the battery is flat. But there is a second tank, and it dwarfs the first. Body fat is not just insulation. It is the main reserve, an energy ocean holding 100,000 calories in an average adult. That is enough fuel to walk across a continent if you could tap it freely. Every pound of fat stores about 3,500 calories. And most people carry dozens of pounds, whether they realize it or not. Glycogen gets burned first because it is easy to access, like the cash in your pocket. Fat is the deep vault, built for endurance, not speed. The trouble starts when the system gets stuck in battery mode, never dipping into the ocean. The body's logistics are designed for feast and famine, but modern habits keep the battery cycling and the ocean locked away. Understanding this split is the key to real energy management, knowing when you are running on pocket change, and when you can finally open the vault. Insulin runs the show like a strict warehouse manager. Every time a meal or snack lands in your system, insulin rushes out and slams shut the doors to your fat reserves. This is not just a gentle nudge, it is a double deadbolt. Insulin signals fat cells to lock up all stored energy, making it nearly impossible to tap into that vast ocean of backup fuel. At the same time, it blocks hormone-sensitive lipase, the enzyme responsible for breaking down fat so it can be burned. As long as insulin is on duty, the fat warehouse stays sealed tight. Now here is where modern habits get in the way. Frequent eating, breakfast, snacks, lunch, more snacks, dinner, late night bites, keeps insulin levels high around the clock. The storage boss never leaves the floor. Instead of switching to fat burning between meals, your body is stuck burning through the tiny glycogen battery, always waiting for the next delivery. The deep reserves remain untouched, no matter how much you exercise or how little you eat. This is why so many people feel tired, hungry, and stuck, even with plenty of stored energy on board. The real barrier is not willpower. It is a hormonal lockout enforced by insulin that keeps the fat ocean off limits. Not all damage in the body is obvious. Some happens at the molecular level, like corrosion eating away at the gears inside a machine. This is where seed oils, like corn, soybean, and sunflower, come in. These oils are packed with polyunsaturated fats, called PUFAS. At body temperature, about 37 degrees Celsius, PUFAS are chemically unstable. They react with oxygen, forming tiny fragments called aldehydes and oxylipins. Think of these like rust flakes breaking off inside an engine. They do not just float harmlessly. They attack the membranes of your cells, the very barriers that keep the factory running smoothly. Over time, this biological rust can damage DNA, disrupt cell signaling, and weaken the repair crew that keeps tissues healthy. The problem starts before you even taste the oil. Shipping containers and grocery shelves expose these fats to heat and air, starting the rust process before they ever reach your plate. Once inside, the oxidation continues. No alarm bells ring, but the wear accumulates. The result is slow, silent corrosion, microscopic damage that chips away at the body's resilience, setting the stage for inflammation and breakdown long before symptoms appear. Repair in the body isn't automatic. It is triggered like flipping a master switch on the factory floor. That switch is protein, but not just any protein. To launch the full repair crew, you need a real dose, about 30 grams in one sitting, rich in leucine. This is the threshold that activates mTOR, the body's anabolic foreman. When the switch flips, the Lego repair crew gets to work, assembling new muscle, fixing damaged cells, and running maintenance on the entire system. Miss the threshold, and the crew stays idle, waiting for enough building blocks to arrive. But there is a rival force working in the shadows. High blood sugar acts like pouring sticky syrup into the gears of your machinery. Glucose latches onto proteins, creating advanced glycation end products, known as AGEs. These molecular caramels glue tissues together, stiffen arteries, and age the skin from the inside out. It is internal caramelization, slow cooking your body's infrastructure. AGs make arteries brittle and nerves sluggish, accelerating wear far beyond normal aging. Every meal becomes a crossroads. Hit the protein threshold and set the repair crew in motion, or let excess sugar caramelize your engine. The body's resilience depends on which path you choose: rebuild or slowly rust and caramelize from within. Today, most adults get over 60% of their calories from ultra-processed foods, fuel for a biological factory the body never evolved to handle. As the science deepens, every bite becomes a management decision. Your next meal is more than taste. It is a blueprint for your future health. Choose with intent.